Stadia streams games directly from Google's data centers to your devices. It's kind of like streaming music or TV shows, but with high-quality video games.
Is that a joke?
Well, it definitely seems like a pretty funny joke to me, but regardless, welcome back, true believers and all you merry Marvelites, to another very interesting Marvel's Avengers related video. So this is going to be a rather quick one, considering how we only have two small updates regarding the overall status of the game, as well as a particular platform that Marvel's Avengers is actually going to be releasing on once it does come out on May 15th, 2020. However, I do think we will go over the most recent news on IGN UK's website, actually going over a lot of interesting info regarding a possible brand new gameplay demo of the Avengers project to be shown on November 21st. Although, the only catch with this news is that they will in fact show some new gameplay of Marvel's Avengers on November 21st, but it will in fact be a behind closed doors presentation for exclusive attendees who win a specific contest in London. But to read directly from the post itself, coming straight from IGN UK's Twitter page, they state, "Win an exclusive play of Marvel's Avengers before its official release at an exclusive London event this Thursday, 21st of November. Retweet this post and get full details here." And essentially, if you do end up clicking directly on that link, it will take you to the entire article on IGN UK's website. And since this is actually a competition directly sponsored by Square Enix and Virgin Media themselves, they do have a lot of terms and conditions as to how you can enter and win the contest if you do want to participate. So I will leave a link in the description below if you do want to read the entire terms and conditions yourself for the article, but the main factor I want to point out from it is actually the very beginning paragraph. And as the article states, Virgin Media has teamed up with Square Enix to bring you a UK exclusive play of Marvel's Avengers before its official release, and we've got 10 pairs of tickets to give away. You'll be given a hero's welcome as you play the superheroes you love, months ahead of the game's official UK release in May next year. The exclusive Marvel's Avengers gameplay event will include 30 minutes of gameplay, using the best gear for an optimal gaming experience. There will also be Avengers costume displays, a Marvel's Avengers artwork gallery, great giveaways, and experiential photo opportunities. So obviously, the people who are able to attend this convention in person will be able to see the exact same stuff that had been showcased at the previous Marvel's Avengers booths, like that of the physical replicas of the Avengers costumes, as well as some photo opportunities like that of the Captain America statue. And while the Marvel's Avengers artwork gallery is surely going to be something that they are going to promote on Twitter after this event is over, the main thing that intrigues me the most is obviously the supposedly brand new 30 minutes of gameplay footage. And the main reason why I believe that this is going to be completely brand new footage is because the A-Day demo only lasted for about 20 minutes long, whereas this footage is going to last apparently for a total of 30 minutes. Not to mention that the description explicitly points out that you will be able to have the best possible gear loadout while you are playing this demo, which does lead me to believe that we will be able to get an even deeper dive as to how the gear works compared to what we saw in the overview video. And if we also end up receiving some gameplay footage as to how expansive the overall hub worlds are going to be within Marvel's Avengers, that's just going to be a very interesting gameplay aspect to see be played out in a full-on 30-minute gameplay demo showcase. For me personally, the overall footage that has been shown off so far for Marvel's Avengers, even though it is in its pre-alpha stages of development, has looked a bit lackluster in certain areas. So I'm really hoping that this brand new 30-minute gameplay showcase could really turn the tides from my own personal perspective. Sadly, we don't know entirely for sure when this footage is going to be released for the public, but we do know that we can expect it at least after the 21st of November, considering that that is when the event in the UK is going to take place. So even though the overview video did do a good job of recapping everything that we know about Marvel's Avengers so far, I really do hope that this 30-minute gameplay demo could show off some brand new footage that no one has seen so far to truly intrigue everyone wanting to play this game. And fingers crossed that this footage ends up becoming available to the public sooner rather than later. But moving on from the news regarding the upcoming gameplay demo is actually an update relating to one of the 4 main platforms that Marvel's Avengers is actually going to release on, with that of the Google Stadia. Now, if you're unaware, the Stadia is essentially a cloud gaming service operated directly by Google and is actually scheduled to release tomorrow on November 19th. Supposedly, it's said to be capable of streaming video games up to 4K resolution at 60 frames per second with support for high dynamic dynamic range to all players via the company's numerous data servers across the globe. And while I'm sure the Google Stadia could be fully polished by the time that Marvel's Avengers does release next May, the system as it is right now from reviewers who got their hands on it have basically been calling it an all-out failure. And to read an article directly from one of these said reviewers is actually from Paul Tassi on Forbes.com, where he states that the Google Stadia is a technical and conceptual disaster. And yes, I will leave a link in the description below for this article so you can all read it yourselves, but I will only highlight two of Paul's main points regarding the system and how badly it flopped. And as Paul directly states in the article itself, the entire Stadia model is baffling to me. If you could use Stadia as an extension of your current gaming platforms, playing your console games on the go, on your laptop or phone or iPad without downloads or hardware, that would be pretty cool. But Stadia is not that. Rather, it is an entirely self-contained ecosystem where you have to repurchase any game you want to play. And as an example, Borderlands 3 is coming to Stadia in a little while, but why on earth would I ever play it there? I would have to start from scratch, as that game and most games do not have cross-save right now. Some do, like Destiny 2, which is being used as a flagship Stadia launch title. And yet, as an avid Destiny 2 player, I would only play on Stadia if my consoles and PC and laptop spontaneously burst into flames and I had no other choice. And B, Stadia does not share a player population with any other platform. And I would be amazed if that didn't end up creating serious matchmaking or group finding issues after launch. And to round up Paul's statements, he goes on to say, I may have been a Stadia skeptic going into this test run, but I was willing to give it a chance. But this has been a catastrophe from start to finish during my testing phase. And the problem is that even if it did work flawlessly, which it absolutely doesn't, the entire model seemed doomed from the start. This is an enormous miss from Google, and I am really wondering what the fallout is going to be from this ill-conceived early launch. So as put perfectly from Paul himself, the overall system of the Google Stadia is basically a flawed product from day one, and would definitely recommend that you continue to stay on the current consoles that you do own instead of going out to buy this platform. And especially for a game like Marvel's Avengers, which is why I find this so important to talk about, is because it is a massive single player and online game which is going to have content delivered at a regular basis for years to come. But given that the Google Stadia is experiencing a heck ton of lag, considering that it is essentially a streaming device turned into a gaming console, as well as the fact that there aren't a lot of players who are buying the Stadia day one, playing the Avengers project at launch on the Google Stadia compared to any other platform would be a massive mistake. So if you're someone who wants to have the best experience possible when playing Marvel's Avengers, I would either recommend to get it on PS4 in order to get all those exclusive benefits, or just get it on PC to have the best graphics possible. So fingers crossed that Google can actually get their stuff in order by the time that Marvel's Avengers actually does release on May 15th, 2020. Although something tells me that most players aren't going to go anywhere near the Stadia anytime soon. And with all that said, everyone, that's the video I have for you today, and please let me know all your thoughts in the comments section down below. What are your current impressions on the Stadia as of right now, and what do you want the 30 minutes of gameplay for Marvel's Avengers to showcase once it is released? Again, I would personally love to see how huge and expansive these hub worlds are, as well as seeing what types of gear can affect the playstyles, along with getting some upgrades to truly make your Avenger the most powerful character possible. And if Square Enix decides to actually show all that before we get the deep dive showcase for the co-op in 2020, then I will be a bit more relieved to the overall status as to what Marvel's Avengers is going to be. But until that time comes, everyone, thank you all so much for watching, stay merry Marvelites, and peace out.
Now you're an expert in all things Stadia. Coming to all kinds of screens everywhere.
You serious?